if you've got visual art of your own, or friends who might be interested. It's as typical of that exhibition, not all of the exhibitions, but that one's an unjuried show. So our intention is to show everything that comes in. And then we've got a big slate of things rolling after that, including, oh my gosh, what do we got after that? We got animation with 70 young animators from San Jose State coming in to show their work. And then we've got some bachelors of fine art students coming in after that, and then we go into our guest curator show. So if you'd like to find out more of us, go to our website, look up our calendar of things there, punch on the calendar, punch on about and exhibit guidelines if you want to figure out how to put together a group show. So anyways, today I've got like crashing sort of allergies, so I'm doing my tea in my Branded Works cup here. So very nice, huh? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I did test up, if anybody's worried, but that's why I've got my mask in case I start coughing. So or might slip out of the room. So it's not about your poetry if I do exit the room for a minute. So yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, maybe you'll never know. You'll never know. So I want to thank Create TV, who does a lot of the tech for us here with the little room camera and hooking all of this stuff in to easily go out online so that we don't have to set it up like we used to. So so thanks to them, and you can thank Shauna on the way out for making all of that stuff possible. She was working with me a little bit earlier today doing that. So anyways, look us up. I'm going to give to you now the president of Poetry Center San Jose, Mr. Rob. He's walking slow. Essich. All right.
Thank you all for coming tonight. We got a great show. How do we get that Branded Works cup?
You donate $100 or more, and you can choose between this and one other design. You see it.
Yeah.
So it's literally a cup of Joe.
Oh, it's a cup of Joe.
That's a good one.
Thanks for that, Mike, and thank you, Joe. Thanks to Works for having this show and co-sponsoring the Well Read for over a decade. And thanks to all of you for coming tonight. I'd like to start with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that Poetry Center San Jose and the city of San Jose exist on the unceded land of the Muwekma Ohlone. We recognize that the Muwekma Ohlone people are alive and flourishing members of the community today and recognize their right to this land, which they have stewarded throughout generations. We acknowledge that members of the San Jose community and residents of California and the United States continue to benefit from the use and occupation of indigenous lands. We acknowledge that this land has come under the control of various entities through violence and dishonesty, and we recognize the history and legacy of colonialism that continue to negatively impact indigenous peoples, their traditional territories, practices, sovereignty, languages, life ways, and well-being to this day. To donate to the Bay Area Sogorea Te Land Trust, led by urban indigenous women, you can visit our website address that will appear in the chat later in this program. Now for a moment of silence. Thank you. Now some words about upcoming events at Poetry Center San Jose, which includes Poetry Lounge, Saturday, January 13th via Zoom, 1 p.m. And then also Third Thursdays, hosted by Mighty Mike McGee, January 18th, 7 p.m. at Willow Glen Public Library. That's at 1157 Minnesota Avenue. And both have open mics. And then also Poetry Exchange, Sunday, January 21st via Zoom from 1 to 3 p.m. And that is hosted by Brandon Liu, also with an open mic. So I'm going to introduce our guests one by one as they come up. And I think our first guest for the night is Sage Cobb. Sage Cobb is the Santa Clara County Poet Ambassador for 23-24. And them is one of the youth poetry ambassadors, also includes Nisha Shenoy. She couldn't be here tonight. They are a disabled and queer poet, and that is what they write about. They attend Los Gatos High School, where their work has been published in the literary magazine that they're publishing there. They love to write poems about whatever they feel, jump on their trampoline, and talk to people. She's here now to talk to you. Come on up. Give her a hand.
Hello, my name is Sage, like Rob says, and today I'm either reading 4 or 5 poems, depending on how time goes, and I'm really excited. So this first poem is called I'm Trans, and it's true, I am trans. It's I wrote it when I was angry because I saw some transphobic videos on YouTube, and this is sort of like my response to the transphobia. So now I'm trans. I'm trans. Those words took me 13 years to say, 13 years of not knowing who I was, 13 years of lying to myself. I'm trans. Words I can get hurt and hated for saying. They told me I don't know myself. They told me I'm delusional. I'm trans. I want to be myself. I want to be happy, but if that comes with being my true gender, I can't have it. I'm trans. I'm scary. I'm going to take down your world, even though I'm 15 years old and my only agenda is getting through high school. I'm trans. I see the news. They say I'm wrong. They say my pronouns don't make sense. I'm trans. I have to fight for my right to exist. I have to explain it over and over again. I'm trans. I worry what will happen in the future if they will force me to be somebody I'm not. I'm trans. I'm the butt of jokes, offensive jokes, making fun of my pronouns. I'm trans. It's supposed to be wonderful. I'm supposed to be happy now that I'm me, but I got the short end of the stick. I'm trans. Sometimes I wish I wasn't, but I am. I didn't choose this, but it's the truth. I'm trans and I am human. Please just let me be. As well as being trans, I am also disabled. I have cerebral palsy, which, if you don't know, is caused by brain damage before, during, or shortly after birth. And that affects me in many ways, like my walking, my speech, and stuff like this. And this poem is about that. It's called The Disabled Poet. I don't want to be defined by my disability. I want to be known for what I do and what I create, and it's fine if you know me as the disabled poet, as long as you also know me as Sage. Why must it be important? Well, I make it important, I know that, but I am afraid that people won't take me seriously because I just omitted my T or my braces go up to my knee. They'll put me on this pedestal that I can barely climb up to, that somebody better than me deserves, because of this thing called cerebral palsy. But it'll be fake love. They'll clap and clap, but they won't have read my poems or listened to my voice, which they find annoying because it doesn't sound like theirs. Maybe I'm bitter and making assumptions, but I know how they treat people like me. I saw it when that little kid asked, "Is your voice crooked?" Or when people stare down at my braces, when it's awkward that I mention I'm disabled. Yes, I want it to be recognized as a core part of who I am, but it's not all I am. It's a label hanging over my head that people see before they see me. To them, it's a superpower, something I've had to overcome to be like them. But maybe I don't want to be like them, and I wouldn't mind being known by cerebral palsy if they didn't think it made me less than them, if they didn't think my ideas were tainted, or my brain doesn't work as well, or my writing isn't that good. I want to be known as a poet, and it's fine if it comes with the words disabled or cerebral palsy, if it first comes with Sage and my writing. This next poem is called Dear February. And basically one February 2022 was a really hard month for me, and it's about that. Dear February, I hate you now, and I didn't before 2022. It's not your fault. I did some bad things, and some bad things happened. Dear February, I miss when I associated you with snow. We always go up to Tahoe. You're the shortest month of the year, so why were you so bad? Dear February, I regret what I did, how I thought pain was a solution. I caused a lot of pain. I know that to be true. Dear February, I associate you with the ex, how I made the decision to date her, how I let her misgender me the whole time, how I couldn't talk to her. Dear February, I don't want you to roll around again and it'll bring back those memories, and it's 2 years later, 2024 around the corner, and I'm still afraid for February to come. Dear February, I'm sorry I hate you now. I'll try to make good memories. Dear February, maybe it would be better if you didn't come around next year. To put some context, I wrote that at the end of last year. If you couldn't tell. So this one I actually wrote today. And like in like the study hall period at my school. And it's called An Ode to the Disabled Body. Yeah, my legs hurt. My hands don't work as well, but my body is the reason I can write. They said my body wasn't good because I can't do all the same things that they can, but I can write. And some days that's all that matters to me. I love my body, flawed as it may be, but my disabled body still allows me to do the things I love. So call this an ode to the disabled body. I have found new ways to succeed, and I wouldn't have if it wasn't for my disabled body. I I love a disabled body, a flawed body, a different body. And this is my ode, an ode to the disabled body. So I was only planning on reading for today, but I brought a backup just in case, and I still have time, right? So I'm I'm gonna read my backup. And this one normally when I write my poetry, it's very like freelance. I write what I want, how I want it. But this one, I did it a little differently. Um, every other line is only 2 words, and it's not 2 syllables, so you might not be able to tell. But I just wanted to mention that. And this one is called The Kids, the Future. A child looks at their body in disgust, wants nothing more than to be normal. Instead of a helping hand, you enlarge their insecurities. Tell them it's their fault that they're different. They grow up angry at society, and then you'll wonder why this generation is so messed up. The kids are the future, whether you like it or not. The kids are the future, even the ones you made to hate themselves, even the trans ones, the queer ones, the children of immigrants. Society will have a huge change. Get rid of anything traditional, and you will be upset. But in the end, it's your fault for making those kids hate themselves. Thank you. Thank you. And before I go, I would like to mention that we have a little booklet of poetry for sale that has all of our poetry in it, plus Nisha's, who is unfortunately not here today. So if you would like, please check that out. Thank you.
I want to take this opportunity to thank, these are the poets of our Santa Clara County Youth Poet Laureate program. And I want to throw a thanks out to Kiana Labra, who's in the house, and also Carla Santiago Reyes, and our founder of the program, Janice Lobo Sapigao. So let's give them a thank you for helping these students. Matthew Kim, Santa Clara County Vice Youth Poet Laureate for 23-24, an Asian American poet, journalist, activist, and nerd born and raised in the Bay Area. Matthew uses their poetry to explore gender, Christianity, third-ish generation Korean American assimilation, and coming of age in an antagonistic, confusing world. When they're not writing poetry, they're busy solving Rubik's cubes and reviewing music. Would you please give a warm welcome now to Matthew Kim?
Also, before we start, whenever the stops, get off the YouTube stream.
Let me shut down the YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
And then